Hi everyone, why would I always do this? Like throw them up. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm DIY Danie, your friendly neighborhood DIYer. And today is part 2 of my DIY journey to create a vintage inspired family history baby nursery for my friends Emma and Jeff. If you haven't seen part 1 yet, stop now, go check it out, because in that episode I create all the DIY elements that you see incorporated into this episode. But if you are all caught up, then let's waste absolutely no time. Edit out, roll the tape. Boop. As a quick recap, this nursery is for my wonderful friends Emma and Jeff, who are due to give birth to their first baby boy named Bruce, named after Emma's grandfather, in October. So she asked me to DIY her a nursery space that not only incorporated her love of vintage and mid-century modern, but would incorporate her love of family history in a really unique way. Challenge accepted. Their nursery already had a lot of good bones that really helped me dictate some of the design direction I was going to take. She had a beautiful vintage rug that once belonged to a past family member, and she already had the big ticket baby items like this gorgeous teak crib and a dresser with a change table above it, but that was about it. To get this DIY party started, Jeff was back to help me get all of the finishing touches done in this room so that we could surprise Emma by the end of the day. Jeff is just one of the most genuine human beings that I know. He owns his own project management and contracting firm called Harvey Homes and Interiors, and I was just excited to have somebody of his caliber along the ride with me, and we did take the job very seriously. Get to the chopper!
Get to the chopper!
Hey, you lift, bro? I'm gonna put this down. So the first task Jeff and I were tackling in this nursery was the feature wall. Let me break this feature wall down for you. I have always followed and been so inspired by a DIY creator named Angela Rose. She created this hunter green accent wall in her bedroom that had this brilliant geometric design built into it. I mean, I have seen a lot of DIY people do this themselves, and I just kind of felt like it was only time before I was gonna do my own DIY twist on this, and I was stoked. Emma mentioned to me that she wanted to utilize her family tree in some way. She didn't know how, she just merely said, Danie, whatever you come up with, I'm going to love. So my goal was ultimately to find my own twist on Angela Rose's idea and to incorporate the family tree within that. I like the idea of these geometric shapes that follows up the wall, but then on top of that, I was going to add all of their family names using leather name tags that I created in part 1 all over the wall, kind of as like an abstract family tree that's just gonna take over the wall in a beautiful way. Cross fingers that this works, guys. To create this abstract tree look, we were using 1.5 inch MDF primed fiberboard molding. I love working with MDF because it never warps, it never splits. It's just a hard, smooth finish that is primed and ready to paint when you're done with it. We went into this design with a bit of a plan. We had already kind of mapped out where we wanted the MDF pieces to go the previous day. We knew we wanted a center point where both family names would connect, and then we knew that it just needed to branch out to create that family tree look, but we decided to create some parallel pieces that ran beside each other just to give it a little bit of visual interest and uniqueness. That was cool.
Very cool, I like it.
Other than that, it was a bit of a stand back, visualize where a piece should go, measure, cut using our miter box, brad nail it in place, and move on. Little triangle piece there. It was basically just going willy-nilly all day. Supposed to be an abstract tree, okay, so kind of just winged it.
Love it. I like where we're going with this.
Yeah, I will say this, for the DIYers out there looking to invest in some tools, especially when you live in small spaces, I always recommend a miter box. A miter box is just such a great investment and can translate across so many different projects for you as a DIYer. You can cut 90-degree angles and 45-degree angles with little mess, and it's very easy to store away.
Miter box is fun.
Right? It is a great, simple alternative to a chop saw for anyone who is working their way up the confidence ladder before wanting to use big power tools. This is way more fun having him do all the cutting.
Any DIY or not.
I use it all the time for projects. It's great for small wood pieces, dowels, trim. Even for this project, it was just such a great tool to use to get the job done with minimal effort and minimal mess. Over time, the creation of this wall really started to come together. The wall really did start to speak to us, you know? The idea was to just let the flow of the wall choose the direction. Let's go this way. Yes, the interpretive dancing of DIY. Can I see what your interpretation dancing looks like?
Let's go this way.
We're gonna go this way, but let's not forget about this way.
To the song.
I definitely got the best end of this deal. Jeff did all the cutting. Don't mind me, just have my seat. And I did all the nailing. Some would say that I really nailed that deal. You know what they say, work smart, not hard. Thanks, Jeff. It took literally 2 seconds to cut the pieces, let's be clear. All in all though, that wall turned out really cool, man. All that we had left to do was use wood filler to fill in all the nail holes and any connection gaps, and then we were ready to paint, my friends.
Love it, wow, that's beautiful.
Now I realize the lighting in the room wasn't showing the true magic of this green, but I will put a little paint chip on screen just so you can see how gorgeous this Essex green was by Benjamin Moore. Oh my God, it's just the richest green jewel tone you've ever seen. If you want a deep, rich green on your wall, this is the color to go with. This color was stunning. This paint was a paint and primer combo, so it meant that we could apply this straight to the wall, but knowing how deep it was, we were definitely going to need to do more than one coat. Looking back at it, Jeff and I were laughing because we probably could have put the first coat of green on the wall before we applied the MDF pieces. This would have helped us use a big roller first and then just paint in the second coat with a smaller roller and a brush. So maybe keep that in mind if you guys decide to do this project at home. Paint the wall first, then add the MDF on top, and then paint your second coat with the MDF. It just seems to make more sense. This is the perfect time to use that one emoji. Regardless, we got our 2 coats on the wall, and boy, oh boy, did this space begin to transform. Hot dog! I was just in shock by the sheer beauty of this wall. It was just so good. How amazing does this wall look? Yes! Go DIY, high five! Now that the wall was out of the way, minus a few little touch-ups here and there, we could finally move on to the other transformative areas of the space. First place of attack, the ceiling light and wall sconce. Everybody, shall we look up? You know, I love Amazon for finding cool and interesting lights at a very affordable price, I have to say. It is one of the first places I go and it never fails me. How cool was this new ceiling light? I just thought it looked so modern, it had so much interest to it, and it was going to make such a statement in this new transformed space. I also happen to know how much Emma loves a good statement light. I had some insider info knowing her so well. So I knew that this light was going to be a hit. That gold felt so warm against that rich green, it was just fabulous. And it was kind of sci-fi looking, don't you think? Kill the enemy. Pew, 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 pew. Of course, then once you add some cool vintage bulbs, this light was a total showstopper. Woo, look at that. Oh, hey, beautiful. And then that wall sconce. So beautiful. It had a lovely black metal base to tie in some of the black elements coming in later, the gold accents to feel connected to the ceiling light, but this one had this lovely glass bulb shade that you can see the bulb inside. This one was a plug-in, so it was renter friendly, and I just adored it. Next up was the new curtain rod, made by Umbra, sourced on Amazon. This rod was dipped in the same beautiful gold finish as the light, and it just totally nailed it above that window. Positive and perfect! When things just come together so beautifully like that, it's just like you melt on the inside, you know? Like a gooey peanut butter cup that's warmed up and then you bite into it and you're just like, you know? Is that a good analogy? No? Okay, let's move on. Then while Jeff was hanging up that curtain rod, I was adding on the D-hooks to my DIY arch mirror frame. The entire creation of this DIY was featured in part 1 of the nursery makeover. Head over there if you want to see that full journey. Yeah, that's perfect. You ready? Okay, I'll get one side, you get the other. Gosh, seeing that arch go up really did do it for me. You could feel Emma and Jeff's family starting to come closer. You could feel them in the room, and I don't know how else to explain that. I'm smiling right now. You just don't know it. Whoo diddy, that shelf, that gorgeous, gorgeous shelf. That was a roadside find that Jeff found one day. It is beautiful, and it just carried so much character and vintage charm for that space. I simply loved it. It was just meant to be. And of course, my matching bookshelf that I thrifted and lifted with new color. Thrifted and lifted. I've never said that before. I should really take that. We're gonna thrift and lift something today. Doesn't it have like a nice pizzazz? It just mirrored that top shelf so beautifully, and I just could not have been happier. Anti-tip kit. And of course, we added an anti-tip kit. We are keeping things real safe around here, folks. Now, no nursery is complete without a mobile. Of course, I wasn't creating my own DIY mobile for this one. I can't DIY everything, all right? But I did source this beautiful one off of Amazon. I loved the colors, and it had little wood leaves that hung underneath it. It was so adorable, so perfect, and just complemented that space so well. Much like my first nursery transformation, I got Emma and Jeff an automatic bed bell crib musical mobile head. That is mouthful. Wow. I just call them mobile motors. It's battery operated. You can control it by remote. It's got lots of great tunes, and it has the ability for you to upload your own music to it.
Dang, this is so cool.
And I just love that it turns. It like creates the whole mobile. I just love it. I just think it's cool. It was just cute as button. Moving on to all the little decorative elements in this space. First up was getting my shadow box of Emma's grandpa Bruce's baby dress. Yes, the same grandpa that their son would be named after. Again, this little element came together in part 1. How cute is this? With a little name tag at the bottom. Second to that, Emma provided me with a bunch of family photos from both her side and Jeff's. We had great-grandparents, grandparents, great-aunts, great-uncles, you name it. And then I sourced a whole bunch of vintage frames so that I could create a beautiful gallery wall that displays all of their families surrounded by this beautiful mirror above Brucey's little changing table. And it was nice. I got to point and place, and Jeff just got it done. What a guy. Such a nice DIY pal, you know? Jeff Harvey, you're hired. Hashtag DIY pals for life. That's lame. We should probably not put that in the edit. Okay, DIY friends, the wall was dry and it was time. The big moment I had been waiting all day to do, the family tree. I could not wait to see this DIY element go up. It was just the cherry on the cake, you know? The one element that was going to bring the whole space together, those leather name tags. Jeff and I worked through one family tree at a time, matching up family names, their respective places to baby Bruce, and used these beautiful decorative finishing nails to secure it to the wall. This was just so special. It was just such a treat to have the chance to meet Jeff and Emma's family like that. It made me genuinely feel closer to a family that I wasn't even a part of. It kind of just felt like each name that went up brought baby Bruce that much closer to each family member.
Now little baby Bruce will just be surrounded by the names that he loves so much. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. I love it.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love my job. From there, it was about adding in all those final details and touches that really brought the entire space together. I will say say this for the parents watching who might be worried. I know, and Emma knows, that you can't have pillows in the crib once the baby is born, but this was more just for the reveal today. These pillows will get moved out, not to worry. I also would like to say that the chair placed in this space was just a placeholder for today. Emma and I had picked a chair together at the beginning of the design process, which was a beautiful caramel colored chair from Wayfair that reclined, but sadly it didn't come in time for this reveal, so this chair was our stand-in for today. It was finally time to reveal to Emma her new vintage, family history, mid-century modern inspired nursery space. I do also want to note that I've been very careful around my wonderful pregnant friend, and just to be a little bit more COVID safe, I wanted her to be able to see this space without having to wear a mask, so I stepped out and Jeff brought her in to reveal the space.
Okay, go for it. Go for it.
Book.
Look at Whistler.
Oh my god. It's so pretty.
A little bandana?
I know, my pregnancy emotions are going wild. Are these yours from when you were a kid?
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. I really love it. I should note that I was behind the scenes bawling my eyes out. I'm bawling my eyes out now, just remembering the entire moment. I had never seen her react to something like that in that way. It makes it so worth it. And that's the arch!
That's the arch. Yeah, I made that tent school.
And this, oh look, baby Bruce!
That's what your grandpa came home
I
to the hospital with.
know! Yeah. Oh my god!
Look at the wall.
Oh. What are, oh my god, they're names of family?
Yeah, Jeffrey, Emma.
Oh my god.
David Fleury, Rita
Oh my god.
Bruce.
There's great grandpa. Oh, Danie, you guys just killed it. Like, it's so beautiful. Oh, I love it. Look at the mobile. Like, what is this room?
That's our nursery.
Oh,
Isn't that
it's
nice?
so beautiful. The light is gorgeous.
Isn't
I
that
can't,
cool?
yeah, it's
I love what she picked.
so beautiful. And the sconce
Yeah, and this one's
for my breastfeeding
yeah, when you're
station.
doing you happy?
Oh, I'm so happy. Oh, I just can't get over it. Oh my god, thank you for all your help. I loved every DIY element put into this space. Everything turned out exactly how I saw it in my head, and I just could not be happier. From the beautiful arched wall piece, complete with a custom mirror and Emma's Grandpa Bruce's philosophy of life words etched in, to the homemade vintage dog pull toy, custom made by Jeff and I, along with the upcycled wood bead memory game, the shadow box featuring Grandpa Bruce's baby dress he came home in the hospital with, complete with a leather punch name tag, an upcycled bookshelf, the family history gallery wall, and of course my interpretation of a family tree on display as a beautiful feature wall in this space. Emma, my friend, I love you. May this room be a place that reminds you of the past, but ultimately lets you grow a family for the future. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all loved this mid-century modern meets vintage meets family history nursery space. Hopefully you found some inspiration through it all. And thank you so much to my friend Jeff Harvey for being my DIY buddy through the last 2 parts. You rock. You are going to be the best father, and I wish you both the most love as you bring in your new baby boy. You guys should all let me know, what did you think of this nursery makeover? Did you like the take on the family tree, or what was your favorite DIY that got incorporated? Let me know in the comment section below. I will see you guys next week. It is going to be another two-parter, and then we're gonna chill on the two-parters for a while, but it is a big, awesome transformation, and I can't wait to show you. Stay tuned, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.